Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to this Starladder Star Series Season number 11 group stages. It is xGame.KZ versus 4 anchors plus a C captain, or 4 ASC as they're more commonly called. My name is Maut. Thank you for joining us today here this beautiful morning, or I guess afternoon, depending on where you are. Again, I'm Maut. With me today is Blaze. So we got a couple of good games underway, especially this one, obviously, and 2 more afterwards. So strap in and enjoy Starladder for the rest of the day. Thanks for joining us, guys. Blaze, how the hell are you today?
Doing good, man. Looking forward to some 6.83 European Dota. We'll have a nice little CIS showdown for Game 3, but for now we get a doubleheader off 4 anchors and a C captain, and get to see what they bring to the table for this kind of new meta game. For now, it's kind of tried and true heroes. None of these really getting buffs or anything. It's actually going to be nerfs on the behalf of Brewmaster, a couple of armor points there, Skywrath, a little bit of agility, but overall still maintaining the integrity of the hero. They're still strong with their ultimates and just in general what they bring to the table. Presumably the Brewmaster is going to be going on the mid, though, and there is some real gank potential against him. Nowadays, it's a lot easier to silence him out, to limit how survivable he is, and at the very least to control his runes, because those are becoming more valuable as we see just a lot of heroes that are good at clashing and skirmishes on those areas. You
talk about skirmishing, and you're absolutely right. I think in this current metagame, I witnessed yesterday Virtus Pro Polar versus Evil Geniuses, and both of those teams decided to fight around almost every single 0-minute rune. Some would give away first blood for it, others would just get it freely, but that 0-minute rune seemed to be a big issue, and then clashing about other runes as well was very important. So a lot of interesting picks that were had yesterday. Today, kind of standard stuff. Rubik and Brewmaster. Rubik's a good pick here. I'm surprised. I guess maybe not so much because maybe it's just Virtus Pro Polar, but in Virtus Pro Polar, they had Night Stalker banned against them in every single game. First round banded by Evil Geniuses, so it wouldn't get through and they wouldn't be able to pick it up and take it, which I thought was quite interesting because you don't really see that hero too often. And to get it banned first round is pretty extraordinary in my opinion. So
yeah, I think Rubik is really strong in this patch. I wouldn't say like he's in my top 4 of winners, but he is definitely up there. What people don't realize is how good an Active Scepter buff that really is. The 2-second cooldown, even if you can't refresh cooldowns by steel cast, you still can go ahead and benefit from the ability to pretty much mirror anything that your enemy throws at you. Like the Arsenal Magus, so to speak, as far as the Invoker, he can go up down to 2-second cooldown invokes, but Rubik can still keep pace with him with every single spellcast, and I honestly think it's viable for a support Rubik to consider the Aghanims after obviously his support items like Wards, Magic Wand, Arcanes, and Blink is going to be his core, but you could still see like Aghanims coming out 35, 40. I mean, whenever you end up picking it up, if you indeed do, it is insanely powerful for the Rubik, and it's also worth noting that in 6.83 a lot of spells got buffed, and in a way that's a buff to Rubik in every single context. So.
You're right, you're absolutely right, but it is difficult to get to that point where you have not only a Blink Dagger but an Aghanim Scepter. It shouldn't be an issue to get there later on in the game, but the Drow Ranger does come out for xGame.KZ, and they have also the meta buff, or I guess the illusion buff to Drow Ranger is pretty important, as marksmanship now does affect illusions, which I think is pretty cool. But that's the only real change for the Drow Ranger. However, does this mean that a Visage pick is coming out from xGame.KZ? We'll see in a second.
I would definitely say so. I mean, you have Invoker and Skywrath with really low armor early on and no good way to clear out these familiars. I actually think that it's almost guaranteed to see the Visage next, unless 4ASC pick it up for themselves, which wouldn't be terrible, but it's definitely not what they were going for with this draft. So, yeah, I mean, you've got the ranged Rubik support, you've got a good hard stun coming out of him, and then the Drow Visage combo is going to put out immense physical damage. Brewmaster will offer you a control, and then for your offlane, I mean, you can go Phoenix, you can go really whatever the heck you want. Dazzle is going to be the current pickup for 4ASC. Doesn't really mesh with their lineup in particular, but it's a hell of a hero no matter what.
That's the thing. That hero saw so much play yesterday. He was first picked by Evil Geniuses in every single game, and some teams value this hero very highly. We talk about Secret, we talk about EG, and he's going to be picked up a lot, I think. xGame go for Templar Assassin, one of their tried and true heroes. It's a hero that they're very comfortable with, and it's no surprise that they pick it up. I haven't seen them run some heroes like Chen recently, but for now, they do pick up the Templar Assassin in the mid lane, while the Drow Ranger in the safe lane. Rubik, actually, I'm not sure. Does this mean Brewmaster off lane, Templar Assassin in another lane? We'll see what they decide to do with the lanes here.
Yep, they have to either aggro try or go for the offlane Brewmaster, which seems more likely at this point. So we'll see how he fares in that context. But this is just going to be the obligatory ban here. I am quite surprised xGame didn't go for it, but they obviously were looking for something different, knowing it would be banning out in the final phase. Maybe they were afraid a little bit of the Shadow Wave physical damage. It can nuke down the familiars pretty hard in the right setting after they come out of their stuns, so that's a little bit annoying. But overall, I guess it just was a different tack that they were trying to take to this game. Making sure that TA can do so much work in the fights by the fact that she can now actually blink with her refraction up even if she is taking hits. It allows her to really benefit from that Drought aura and to just dish out insane physical damage. Like, I honestly think there's going to be scenarios where Dazzle won't even have time to cast Shallow Grave. People will die that quickly, especially with the Skywrath.
Yeah, they'll get blown up. What's important to note also is they have the Templar Assassin armor reduction plus the Drought physical damage going in, and then all of a sudden Roshan becomes a non-factor in terms of how long he'll survive. I think if xGame they can absolutely take Roshan at any point in this game, whenever they feel necessary, when they deem it necessary. So look for that for xGame.KZ. Their last pick should be another support here for 4ASC. They already have 2 supports. They have their men in the Invoker. They have their offlane in the South War Runner. What is their safe lane going to be? That is the true question. What is Valix playing this game for 4ASC? We're going to have to wait and find out.
Yeah, it's a hard call. Like, in this lineup, I think they wanted to go for something maybe like a Juggernaut or something, but there is a lot of physical damage putting out, as you mentioned, so maybe a Sven or something, or I hear that might be going for BKB even earlier because the Brewmaster Drunken Haze is going to be quite frustrating. So, I mean, there's a lot of heroes that you can go for in this context, but you also have to be worried about what Rubik's stealing from you and what really is just going to fit with your lineup perfectly. Bristleback isn't too bad because he can turn his back to all this physical damage and he doesn't rely on auto attacks purely to put out damage. But then they would be lacking a lot of stun. Like, they would have Invoker's Cold Snap mostly. Maybe he'll go Tornado Wex, and then they'll have the Centaur Stomp, but that's pretty much it. So, I don't know, that's always risky to be going up against these kinds of heroes without that much control. So we'll see. They've got 15 seconds left. They go for the Naga Siren, and obviously this is a hero that we've seen can do some tremendous work.
The problem is are they going to get to the late game with this Naga Siren? Is she going to be able to carry against the mid-game prowess of the Templar Assassin, Ranger, and Brewmaster? She might have a very rough time if they don't give her room. I think Centaur and Invoker are going to have to do a lot of work in making space for this Naga Siren to get farmed. You can get involved early, but I don't think that's the case for 4ASC this game.
Still could be looking for something like a Chen here if they really want to up the tempo. Obviously, that would make it so that the Brewmaster has to go to the offlane, which I'm not crazy about. But I saw earlier today in some iLeague, there was a Chuan Chen, and he played it magnificently. The amount of creeps you can really build up is absolutely insane. 1, 2, 3, 4 is a great scaling on the new Holy Persuasion, and I think it definitely gives you a lot of potential early push and just bringing back the tempo of the hero once more, despite all the tower and Deathball nerfs. But again, we're going to be going into these last moments of reserve time just so they can solidify their pick here. They do have some stand-ins, so they have to kind of coordinate who can play what, and it's going to be the Lion here, which should get a nice little base damage increase, as well as just being a great hero against the illusions. The Mana Drain having only a 0.1 second tick rate also improves their potential to bring those down quickly.
Yeah, this is a hero that you see, like you talked about, against the illusion-based hero, specifically against the Naga Siren because of the Mana Drain, but that's really the only real reason, other than obviously you have good lockdown, you have good nuke damage coming out. I mean, you talked about nuke damage physically, but now they have nuke damage magically. So it's kind of scary to see what 4 Anchors plus the Sea Captain are going to do here in this situation. As xGame.KZ, I think, have a very solid draft. They have a lot of early game pressure. 4ASC have some early game pressure, but they also have been some men playing the Naga Siren. This is probably going to be a safe lane Invoker, that means, and that they're going to send the Naga Siren mid more than likely, and Naga Siren will try to get as much farm as possible up against, who knows, probably the Templar Assassin. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, that's what I would put my bet on as far as who's going to the mid lane there. I mean, the runes have become a big point of emphasis now, so I could see like the Rubik and Lion helping to roam on those and make sure TA has a pretty good laning phase. It is worth noting here, Neo is alias for Reeves, so still a core member of xGame here. They only have the one stand-in in Tomash.
All right, yep, everyone else for xGame is up and alive and playing this Dota game currently. For xGame.KZ, why don't we get in some introductions here real quick. It's going to be Stallcat playing your Lion, Mantis playing your Templar Assassin, Reeves playing your Rubik. We're going to have Equal playing your Drow Ranger, and Tomash playing your Brewmaster. That'll be your dire squad for xGame from Kazakhstan.
And looking over the side of 4 anchors and a sea captain, you've got your currently making his way towards mid, but probably your offlane Centaur Warrunner there, played by Trixie. As far as their mid, it looks like it's going to be Volix. Null Talisman start for him as the Invoker. And that's going to leave the supporting cast to be Buffy on the Dazzle, Nymphy, the stand-in, on the Skywrath Mage, and then Matoma Man will, of course, be playing the core role here, carrying it up on the Naga Siren safe lane.
So, a lot of this game is going to be on Matoma Man's shoulders. We'll see what he can do in terms of getting his farm up. Lots of regen, no Quelling Blade yet, no Ring of Protection, nothing like that. Just a Stout Shield, Tango on his South. He'll be able to get up to maybe an Aquila, a Quelling Blade, and boots at some point in the future, as well as a bottle could be nice to have. So the good old Naga Siren build. We'll see what he decides to go for. And I think because they have this duel in as of right now, or the tri-lane, they could try to go for Ensnare and kill Tomash. Riptide is going to do a lot of work as well, reducing his armor and making sure that he doesn't have even any armor to work with, as he only has 2 to begin the game now currently. Down at the bottom rune, he's not going to be able to contest this. This is going to be somebody's rune. Maybe Matoma Man's, it looks like they will give it to him, and he'll be halfway to level 2 now with that giant rune that they pick up. And they also get, well, for Stallcat, it's the bounty rune. So 1 rune split going for each side. No specific team getting both.
Yep, just getting like essentially what's the value of a half of a Hand of Midas Transmute. Just at the 0-minute mark. It's not too shabby to get your ball rolling there, and you're able to, I mean, get the Poor Man Shield out for the Naga very, very quickly. And if the Brewmaster was in any contention for the lane, of course you can get the Ensnare a little bit sooner there, either at level 2 or level 3 to guarantee some kills there. But I really don't think Tomash is going to have a great time here. There's going to be Arcane Bolt Harassment already pushing him back. And usually in this situation, you skill the passive just to get some evasion against the Skywrath, but it's still going to hurt no matter what. He does get the passive, but
Trixie,
I don't think...
Is he going to die? Yes, he is going to go down. Stallcat gets the right click. Great telekinesis from Reeves, and good right click coming out from Equal as well. And they do run over Trixie. That's surprising that he got caught out that early, and that's without Silence or Frost Airs, excuse me.
That really shouldn't happen, but it's the Trixie feed. He still is able to pull off some magnificent games, but end of the day, he dies a little bit more on the offlane than others in his role set, and still seems to have a pretty good game overall. So we'll see how it affects him. But for now, we're going to see an Exhort Invoker from Volix on the Invoker. This is, I mean, it's not odd because it's still a very strong skill set, and they do have things like the Ensnare, like the Hoof Stomp that can set it up, but it's just something that we see so much Wex nowadays, and there are a lot of mana-dependent heroes in XGame that it is kind of surprising just to see it here.
I'm pretty sure they picked this early on, right? This Invoker was first or second pick, was it not, for AC? Maybe I'm crazy.
Well, I mean, they opened up with the Skywrath early. They followed through, I think, with the Dazzle.
The Dazzle was last pick, or one of the last picks, I believe.
You're right. It was actually their response to the Drow Ranger, so it was at least the 3rd pick there. I guess, yeah, that was their intention, just to get the Invoker on the field and see what they could do with it. So
I'm surprised it was picked that early. I'm not sure if it would have been bad in that situation. Regardless, though, should be having an okay time in this lane. It's pretty even for the most part. If he gets Forge Spirits, that's when I think it becomes difficult for Mantis. When he starts using that. Otherwise, Valix doesn't really have the right-click damage. The Drow Ranger's on the other team, so he doesn't get that bonus precision or damage. How unfortunate for Valix, but for the most part, he is doing a good job, and he will skill up the Forge Spirit now as he's got it going, and he's got 7 CS to his name.
Scary Smoking coming through. Invoker right now only at 280 MS. Should be easy to get this combo off. If they get in range for the telekinesis, they get in range for everything. And 4 stuns coming good. This is just, it would be dangerous. But telekinesis, they don't get the range. Rubik only running at 290 himself.
Yeah, Rubik was here when the Invoker was backing up towards his tower, and that means they just couldn't get to him in time by the time he was underneath the tower. So it was a good try coming out from the supports coming from XGame, but that does free up top lane for Trixie to get some more experience, some more farm. He knows that they're still missing. They will rotate back up top, and they might try to go for a kill here again. And Trixie smartly backs up a little bit closer to the tower, not quite there yet. No Observer Ward coming out as the Dire Sentry is placed down. Stallcat looking for an Earthspike. They're going to find it. Now they're going to go for a Telekinesis. Frost Arrows are going to be ready. Trixie gets hexed up, and he will go down. He was not close enough to the tower to stay alive. He will buy. Sunstrike misses onto Stallcat. It was a good effort from Valix, but not enough. If they had gotten that kill, that would have been huge at least.
Yeah, so I guess that is going to be a really valuable kill in the sense that like the supports do need levels here. You saw how much damage he was taking just from return there, trying to harass and trying to get the kill. Although the Lion does get a lot of auto attacks in with his chain of disables there, and obviously the precision aura as well as the plus 7 damage buff from 6.83 does really add up there. It is also worth noting that of course he takes a lot of damage the other way, so he has to get Tranquil Boots here to be able to mitigate that damage a little bit. And I think they're just going to be more active in the roaming. They're going to make sure that the Rubik is supporting the Drow, that she gets an easy level 6, and from there, their fight just gets all the stronger. But he did go for a cool item build here, going for 2 circlets and a Slippers of Agility on the Drow Ranger to start. There's actually a build where you can go 3 circlets and a Tango, but that might be a little overkill in the all stats department.
Well, the circlet change, everyone is building these items now. Then he can transition them into Wraith Bands as well, so this shouldn't be an issue for Equal, honestly, and I think this is a good start. He's 22 last hits, not quite the 29 that Matema Man has, and Matema Man still, he takes a little bit longer to get online than a Drow Ranger does, though. That's the issue.
So Mantis here has just had an okay time in the mid lane. He's 21 and 10 against the Invoker, 16 and 4. It is an Exhort Invoker, so that is kind of noteworthy. Against Quasvex, that would be what you would figure would happen. Anyways, we're going to see another smoke come through. The Tranquil Boots will lead the way, and I think this should be another kill on Trixie. He is only at level 3 right now. They've got a tower, creeps under the tower. They've got a pretty good push in, but they have to go now. Like, they have to dive the tower, be willing to take some pot shots if they're going to get this kill.
Trixie he's vulnerable. He doesn't want to die again. In fact, he will do so. Earth Shock, or Earth Spike, and then obviously the Fable coming in, the Gust, as well as the Frost Arrows is more than enough damage. Neo might die to the tower. Sunstrike gets blown up. He does go down to the tower. In fact, that Sunstrike would have gotten the kill had the tower not killed him first. So I guess kind of lucky to that extent. They do give gold all the way to the Radiant, but they
don't get the experience. The Invoker would get the experience if he hit the Sunstrike, so that's the difference maker.
Yeah.
What actually happened there was essentially the Rubik took a few hits from the tower, and he tried to drop aggro by 8-clicking an ally, but the problem was he was still the highest priority target because he was the closest to the tower. So although he dropped the aggro, it immediately picked him back up, kept firing away, and he goes down to the Radiant.
Yeah, it's just a bit of a mistake for maybe not him, but from his squad as well. If they're not get closer, take some tower shots for him as he's on his way out.
It was avoidable.
Down bottom, Tomash is going to get caught out. Matema Man gets the kill with Riptide, and that's pretty much it. He just got a bit too aggressive, and Boofy was there with the Poison Touch as well. I think maybe even the Shadow Wave got the kill. I'm not sure. I didn't see all of it, but still a good kill. So offlaners are dying all over the damn place, and that is good for your safe laners, Matema Man as well as the top lane Equal.
Yeah, if you just consider the fact that the Brewmaster's armor is only at 2, the Riptide actually puts him into -2. So he's actually taking 14% more damage instead of mitigating 14% damage. That makes it so easy for a little bit of Shadow Wave damage to come out, and the Ensnare that was leveled early to really take effect. Both heroes, the Dazzle and the Naga, did about 250 damage apiece, and that's plenty to bring down the Brewmaster, who only is running on Tangos and a Magic Stick right now.
It's surprising to me that they're throwing him in the offlane. I mean, we didn't see it that often in the last patch, and in this patch when he was nerfed, I mean, like you said, the extra minus armor going his way is kind of an issue. So,
and they first picked this too. So if it doesn't work, it really feels like they waited a lot on this individual hero that just isn't going to be able to get the job done. But I mean, it's not just one hero; it's across the board. A lot of stuff going on here, and I think the biggest thing to note is Drow Ranger's early farm. I mean, he's already got treads, 2 Wraith Bands, and he is up to level 7, though he did go for a 1-1-4 build.
Question is it going to be enough against Matema Man on this Naga Siren, who has got 54 CS at 7.5 minutes and looks like he's not missing almost any CS in this lane, so Matema Man will be farming like crazy. In the middle lane, Valix is getting up to 34 last hits. He's caught up pretty well as the Templar Assassin had a little bit of a lead over him now, and still does with 38 last hits and a couple extra denies going the way of the TA. But the TA gets out of the lane. She heads to the jungle. She was farming there for a period of time. The supports are nearby. Stalcat and Neo like, hey, what's going on? We need to help you out here. We're just going to roam around. Maybe we could kill Trixie again, but he's in the jungle. Trixie is saying, I'm getting the hell out of here. Listen, I don't want to be a part of this. He almost does have Stampede, which is nice. Oh, please don't go back to that top lane. My God, Trixie, don't do it. You're too young. Pause coming out from Matema Man, and let's take a break.
And the real question is whether or not he passes over this trap. If he passes this trap, it's to move maybe 100 units further, he's dead. Because they got the Lion in position to go for the Hex play. They got the trap in position, which is now charged up to full slow effect, and they can get the TA in there quickly enough. So, yeah, it really comes down to him. If he tries to go and leech some experience from this push, then he is a dead centaur walking, but maybe he'll reconsider his actions.
And look at where the heroes are positioned, and look at where the tower is pushed into. Like, you're not going to get anything. I mean, maybe if you go to the 2-2 tower, but he should just go and wrap around in this direction. Just go over here. Don't go. Do not go this way. Whatever you do.
Yep, that's very possible. He'll just go for the back loop there. Either way, I'm surprised he's not just sticking to the jungle. He's going to have the Tranquil Boots pretty soon. Stout Shield return. It's decent to cover up the jungle, but as we see, he cleared out one camp and he made his move immediately. And the other hard camp is double stacked, so it's not the easiest thing for him to deal with.
You can always help.
And he turns.
You could always help. Yeah, good thing, too. My God, Trixie, that would have been disastrous. He goes to the tier 2 tower instead. This is what I was talking about. Stay alive, my friend. Don't get caught out of position. You don't want to die again. No more Trixie feeds. So they're putting pressure on this tier 1 tower top. They will grab it quickly, and that's just a Drow Ranger who I believe has 6. In fact, she does have level 8, so marksmanship is up. She's got a Morbid Mask. Mask of Madness will be done soon. Matumbaman sitting at 1,200 gold plus all of his, usual items. And we just continue onward here, man. There's just nothing else going on.
Yeah, the damage coming in from the TA is going to be absolutely absurd. He's going to go for a Blink Dagger rush here as we see him saving up the gold. This will not be Hand of Midas. This is going to be Mantis getting aggressive, getting active, and going in for some blood. But look at his damage output with Refraction and Precision Aura. He's getting 120 bonus. He does 200 damage per hit with these right clicks, and this is just from Refraction and from the Drow.
He's able to clear out these big stacks little by little, and, well, that's going to give him very, very close to his Blink Dagger, like you talked about. Without Shreds, yeah, the damage is actually ridiculous because of the precision.
He goes for Midas. I mean, this is a Mantis play, right? Because he loves to go for the late game farm route, but I just think, like, you could do so much work right now with the amount of snowball momentum you already have for your tower kill up top, and the fact that you won out the mid lane. Like, you could destroy this Invoker. You could crush the Centaur anytime Stampede's off cooldown.
You tricked me, Blaze. I was so sure it was going to be a Blink Dagger. You sounded so sure of yourself.
I feel it should be, but it is Mantis.
Yeah. He's not the only mid laner to go Midas, though, but Valix getting it is a little bit less surprising. It's Invoker. You want to get as many levels as possible. Midas is one way to do so, and is there going to be a clash over this haste for Telekinesis? Matumbaman's going to pick it up, and Neo gets absolutely obliterated by that Riptide. Neo, got to get out of there, buddy. Is he going to deny himself? Sunstrike! Easy kill coming out. What a blow-up. Saltcat does get the kill on Boofy, but Valix just snipes him. 360 no-scope coming out from the Invoker there as Matumbaman heads back to the bottom lane. They are going to rotate some heroes over here. In fact, Saltcat and Tomash are ready to go. And if Matumbaman dies, he's going to lose a lot of gold, which he's already at 2,000, so...
Yeah. Could have considered a song movement where they could rotate the Centaur down there and go in for a big stomp double-edge play, but end of the day, they just want to play a passive. They want to farm. They want to just build up Matumbaman towards that Sacred Relic. And we were talking about this, the timing of the game. Like, it's all about Naga Siren finding this Radiance. If the xGame can put enough pressure out to bring down the Naga Siren and prevent that for several minutes, that's going to be really important. But up top, the Stampede comes through. Yeah,
there's going to be the concussive shot. Good gust coming in onto all these heroes. Trixie has to wait a moment, but there's the stomp. Ancient Seal. Sunstrike does hit on Stalcat, who walks right into it. He's like, maybe I should get away from this. This is actually just a lot of damage here. Throws up the Earth, but casually does nothing. And they get an easy kill on the Drow Ranger. So they've accomplished more in terms of ganking the carry than xGame have. So Drow Ranger will be on the sidelines for 20 seconds, allowing more room for the rest of 4AC squad to work with.
So overall, right now we see on the graphs that the experience is kind of favoring 4 anchors, the gold is kind of favoring xGame, but majority of the leads are negligible right now. It's about this powder keg that is Matumbaman and his build up here, and kind of that's why I was talking about the Midas not being my favorite choice, because if you got a Blink Dagger, you could be like tower diving right now. You could be jumping on and getting kills. They're going to go in here with the Telekinesis, but he has the split unless he's stunned out.
Song is going to go, and, well, these Broodlings don't give a damn. They, of course, are Magic Immune, and it looks like Matumbaman will fall. That Song doesn't do enough, and that was a really well-timed Song. The Ensnare came through. He should have just Song first for the most part. Matumbaman might fall here. Still alive. Juki and Jiving getting through the trees, and the teleportation rotations are coming. Sunstrike on the backside. Is he going to kill anybody? I'm not sure. I don't think they got Tomash with the Sunstrike.
They'll get him at the very least.
Probably is going to fall. Meanwhile, Mantis does get the kill on Boofy in the mid lane. Ancient Seal going the right click. Double kill for Mantis in the mid lane as he picks up him as well as the Invoker. Nice play coming out from the Templar Assassin. They lose the Rubik bottom, and that's it. 2-for-1 exchange in the end. They would have loved to gotten that freaking Mutsuma man Naga Siren, but he stays alive.
Yeah, at least they get the song on cooldown, so that's something, but he is only 1,200 gold off of that Sacred Relic, and from there, they're actually looking to defend this here. The traps are in place, so they're going to be able to pop some slow effects on them, but end of the day, they exhausted a lot to get into position for this fight, and yeah, I just don't know if it's going to be enough to actually break the base here. We've got a good flank coming in from Nemphy. He does have his full arsenal that was lacking a bit of mana.
Concussive shot. There still is that refraction up and ready to go. Mutsuma man throws up the ensnare. He's getting aggressive Sunstrike on a Neo. It's going to hit, but it's split between the creeps. And now they stampede away. They don't want to fight into this. Now they turn. Arcane Bolt going in. Neo gets blown up. Tomasz does not have the split. Good Earth pick onto 4 heroes, it looks like. Maybe 3, but Mutsuma man, excellent grip. Keeping him alive. Equal. Just trying to back off as quickly as possible. Nemphy and Boofy, they're going to throw up a couple of abilities on Mantis. In the end, it's a 1-for-0 trade. The Earth Spike prevents any further aggression coming out from the rest of 4ASC and allows Stallcat to get that much closer to his Blink Dagger.
Yep, so, I mean, that's going to be obviously a big kind of turn of the tides a little bit, getting in a position where you can get those big stuns, big nukes, big spells off in general, but I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what Mantis goes for next. Does he go for like a Yasha build-up? Does he go for the Drums of Endurance? Does he actually go back for the Blink Dagger, which was the major TA buff at 6.83? I don't know. But we see Equal getting followed through upon after the Rubik gets picked off. They invade the Secret Shop territory. They want to steal some Ancients, and it's not going to be too difficult for them. Mantis doesn't have the control, but the Brew Split is online.
And that will signal the retreat coming out from 4ASC. They do get 1 kill. Neo is the target. He has, or Reeves, I guess you could say. He has 5 of the team's 7 deaths to his name. He's going to have to stop feeding rather soon, and hopefully that's the case. Whereas now xGame will go ahead and take this Ancient stack, and hopefully Equal can get to whatever he wants. He already has
Stampede
his
in 5.
mask. And
I think they're going to go. Stampede's coming up right now, and they have a really good team fight if they can back away from the split. That's the thing. The Brewmaster is down bottom. They see him, and I think they want to go.
Boofy's got to come in. He's got to throw up the Poison Touch, but Neo and Stallcat with really good positioning behind these trees. The Forge Spirit's going to give them some more vision on the right-hand side, and it actually looks like because everyone was backing away from xGame, 4AC decided to back away, but instead they're going to go mid. There's going to be a silence on the Mantis right now. Gus goes through it, misses. Stomp comes in, double edge. They blow up Mantis. Big kill. Earthspike onto Boofy. He can always grab himself, and that's perfectly fine. That is a big one. Getting Mantis, that's huge. And, well, at least they do get the Blink Dagger for the Brewmaster for Tomasz, as he was setting bottom and farming.
Yeah, but as Trixie gets the last hit on the TA, he's about to his Blink Dagger as well, and I think the Centaur Blink is even more impactful than the Brews. They're still both extremely high value, but Centaur, he doesn't do almost anything without it. He stampedes defensively from the split, so it is going to be his Blink initiation that makes the fights count and the kills happen. We're going to see TPs up top here. Again, Reeves all by himself, only level 4. He cannot afford to go down again, but they have a pretty good opportunity with the concussive shot.
That is a problem. 50 minutes, you're only level 4 on your Rubik. The next closest support level is level 7 for the Skywrath Mage, so you are in trouble if you're a Reeves in this game. And this might be one of the reasons why they go down, because Reeves is not really contributing much to the game. Yes, you have your Blink Dagger, your Brewmaster. Yeah, you have decent farm for Equal, and even Mantis to a certain extent. But that, I mean, you're not ganking, you're not getting involved. Blink Dagger's done like you talked about for the Centaur now, and they might get this tier 1 tower. Glove's gonna go.
Salt Cut. Oh!
Wow, that was a finger of death. Yeah.
Earth Spike, finger. Sayonara, Mr. Skywrath. Very squishy hero, and gets dropped down with Reeves picking up the deny on the tier 1 tower up top. So Naga will be finding her recipe first and her relic in just 350 gold.
Wow, I'm surprised she went for the recipe first. She's gonna have that Radiance soon, and that is going to be an issue. That's going to be a 17-minute-ish Radiance, which is followed up by probably 18 to 19-minute bots, and from there, the game starts getting kind of difficult. She'll split the map. She'll make sure she gets as much farm as possible. She'll get up to a Mantis-style Heart of Tarrasque if necessary, and at that point, even as farmed as Mantis and as farmed as Equal may be, it's going to be very difficult to shut down this Naga Siren. And Equal's still sitting at 1,400 gold. Picked up treads. Anything else flying out? It looks like it might be. It is going to be a full Yasha going towards equal, as he doesn't get the Mask of Madness. He just sticks at the Wormbird Mask.
Yeah, that's pretty solid here. They can do a lot of work with that. Maybe even go for a Dominator. It's an older Drow build, but it still checks out. And I think that they're going to be able to get a good Blink Initiation from Stallcat here. Just one good stun, and they got to fight. But, of course, the Stampede is available.
Buffy's going to be the last one coming in, and
Radiant's bottom tower
he is actually just going to... No, they won't see him. They all head bottom. They were looking for another hero. They couldn't find it. Equal's going to pressure bottom lane. Precision Aura is obviously helping out a lot. Radiant's now coming into the Naga. Illusion's pushing into the mid lane, so we might see a game where we farm a bit more. We might see some epic clashes here pretty soon, and I mean, at this point, I don't know if you want to really fight for AC. You might just want to sit back and split push like you... I mean, you have an Invoker with Necrobook. You have a Naga with Radiance. There's no real pressure for you to try to fight. I mean, you're forcing down tier 2 towers already at this point. The glyph's being used, and that does force rotation from xGame, so...
Yeah, just by being in 4ASC's position right now, just having the Naga Radiance... Oh, Stallcat actually dropping quite low. If it was Rubik, he'd be dead, but... still taking a lot of hits from these Forge Spirits. In other case, yeah, in this position, it's actually like xGame who have to make something happen now. They are the ones that are just by default behind. The Roach is going to be a nice little opportunity here, but essentially, yeah, they just, by being the ones with the Naga Siren Radiance, they automatically win the game if everything just goes by default. It's got to be xGame to pull an upset, xGame to take a big fight, and not to get picked off on the top lane. The Blink coming out will keep him up, and the Roche will fall to Mantis. So he picks up a nice Aegis the Immortal, and we'll see what he can do with it. But yeah, just overall, it really is 4 anchors who can kind of rest on their laurels, or just split push to their heart's content, and delay fights as long as possible.
This is what I was talking about with xGame. They have the Drow and the Templar Assassin. Those are two really good rushing heroes. Ancient Seal coming in. Tomas was trying to fight. Silenced up again. He's really wanting to go to town here, but TP away from Nymphy. No way can stop that. Clap was about to go. Stallcat was looking for another spike, but a bit too late to the party. And that does mean that everyone will get out scot-free for 4 ASC. So, at this point now, I think all you have to do for 4 ASC is make sure this Naga and Invoker are farmed, and then just start split pushing. If you really do want to take a fight, you can, but it has to be a bit later on into the game, as Equal, Tomash, and Mantis are going to be kind of farmed already. So,
the only fights that you have to contest is when xGame go for massive Ancient stacks. Like if they have a quad or quint stack of Ancients, then you go for a Song Weave play. You can weave during the Song of the Siren, and it does start ticking the dot, or the armor over time reduction, and that's going to be a really, really big effect for their clashes. So essentially, they just engage in like a 5v5 under those terms only when the Ancients are heavily stacked. Otherwise, they're just going to automatically outfarm because of how the Naga spreads their illusions.
Naga is now such a... I think this hero is going to be picked up a lot, and not just with Visage anymore, because of the illusion change. You see Mantis Styles coming out left and right, and that does give you survivability. Mitzvah Man gets a kill on Neo, meanwhile Boofy gets right-clicked down by Stallcat and Equal. So, like I was saying, Equal with the Mantis Style, obviously, just to dodge silences alone is pretty good, so it does so much damage as well.
Yeah, we saw it, I mean, in all the previous patches where that marksmanship was not a non-permanent effect. The Mantis Style was picked up a ton anyways. I'm not sure if that was just because it was listed in the core items or if actually people valued it for the dispels, but Velox in the mid lane will be going down to the Brew Split. Pretty big investment, but, I mean, they get the push up top along with it, with that Mantis Style.
Yeah, they are making all the right plays here for xGame. They're finding pickoffs, and they're getting tower kills as well, but... all that thought is Trixie does get the kill on Mantis, who gets caught way out of position, by the way. So that's a bit unfortunate. It means that they give a bit more gold over to 4 ASC that is not necessarily needed. They take down the Tier 2 tower top, Tier 1 tower bottom is gone. They need this Tier 1 tower mid so they can access the jungle and make sure that Matsuma Man is not getting free farm down here in this bottom lane and into the jungle, who has bots now and 1,000 gold plus his Radiance. Matsuma Man, he's having a grand old time with 161 CS.
So we're going to see the Drow actually pick up almost all the big camps in that triple stack from the 4ASC Ancient, so a nice little nab for him. The Invoker's going to be a little bit sad about that one, but yeah, overall, it's just, I mean, they're able to take the top tier 2, which is something that you, generally speaking, when a Naga Siren picks up a Radiance this early, you say goodbye to your ability to push tier 2 towers, because the Radiance creep cutting, it's just too good. But in this sense, since Matumba Man's still focused on farm and focused on his jungle, it works out. However, Trixie finding the opportunity, jumping in. It looks like he's going for Crimson Guard here, and he is going to be just able to find nice little pickoffs like that on the line.
Look how aggressive they're being, even with this Naga Siren. They're just pushing straight down mid. They obviously don't have their Invoker. He already threw up his Sunstrike to get that kill on the Stallcat.
Yeah.
And they're going to invade the enemy jungle right now. They don't want their own jungle. They want the enemy jungle first and foremost, and Matama Man will take it quickly with his Radiant Spur and Riptide.
Yeah, they just want to punish the fact that the Brewmaster solo split an Invoker. They say, okay, if you're going to pop an ultimate like that on just one hero, then we're going to take advantage of the cooldown. We're going to push in, because we have really short cooldowns. Every single ultimate on 4ESC is quite short indeed, especially when Naga hits 16. So as it stands, they can spread the map, and they can just exploit the fact that there's like literally one stun when the Lion is dead. There's the Rubik, Telekinesis, and that's about it.
And he's not providing too much. Reeves is finally level 7. He is getting spell steal, but he has had a rough-ass game for this Rubik. I mean, it's been rough. It's not been fun. Rubik's been like, please don't kill me, and he's died 5 times still. 6 even, actually. They're going to go up top, and now they're maybe going to contest this. Tomash, Sunstrike, Blink, Stomp, Double Edge. Do they have the damage here? Absolutely. Wow. They blow him up with Veilix and his right click. He did have split, I'm sure. It just came off cooldown. Trixie trying to TP. There might be a Gust Telekinesis. Gust wouldn't have done anything. Telekinesis will. Right click, Melt Strike comes in. Okay, 2-for-1 trade. Not bad when you think about it. Although the Brewmaster is down, they did get Trixie on the other side of things.
Yeah, I think Reeves was trying to go for the BM Double Edge on the Centaur, but honestly, the better play would have just been to cast Spell Steal. I think Centaur, the last spell cast was Stampede, and that would have been a nice steal to pick up, but they get the TP cancel, they get the kill on him, so no matter what, they're profiting. And, yeah, they have to worry about the objectives right now. They have to say, okay, this game is going to be stretched out, this game is going to be going a bit later, but how do we keep our eyes on Roche, keeping the trap in the pit, and then how do we get to these towers? And that's going to be picking off a key hero to defend it, like the Invoker or the Naga, without investing too many cooldowns.
Yeah, they have to take on these towers. They have to take these objectives. And an objective, honestly, is just trying to kill a Naga, but it's very difficult. I mean, she's very slippery. She's going to have Manta Stop pretty soon. She's going to get even harder to kill because you won't be able to Gust her. And she has a haste rune now as well, because if she wasn't lucky enough, she's going to try to go for Neo. Mirror images. Oh, she dodges the Earth Spike, and Stallcat is made a fool of. Sunstrike's going to come out. Neo gets blown up. Oh, man, what a disastrous turn of events coming up for X Game. Stampede going, but Matama Man wants it in there. Good blink from Tomash as he was Ancient sealed up. On the other side of things, Mantis is going to run in with Refraction, and Matama Man's like, listen, I have Radiance. So if you want, we could go toe-to-toe, no problem. Concussive Shot coming out. Cold Snap as well. Blink Stop onto Tomash. Mantis is dead. Mystic Flare. He's going to use his split. He realizes that they're all dead. His entire team is gone. Split would just be used defensively. Sunstrike gets the kill. Veilix. Wow. What a Sunstrike coming out from your Invoker player. And all of a sudden, 4 anchors just run over X Game. Where did that fight come from? Holy crap.
And just them underestimating the damage potential of this Naga Siren. She puts it out quick and dirty very early on, and you take out one, you can just snowball it. Especially the Drow is a hero that just can't go down, otherwise the aura doesn't permeate, and they're just pick off after pick off. They're able to really pull them apart. Now we see them actually going in for the racks with the Naga Siren carry advantage. I mean, this is just absolutely insane to be able to get this much momentum behind them, but great initiations here. Trixie, some good picks. They don't... Oh, okay. That works. They would have Force Spirited down anyways, so... Now, when the range Rex is destroyed, it still gives the same amount of bounty to the entire team, right?
I mean, it got denied, so I don't know. If it gets denied, it might not give any gold away. I'm not sure how that works anymore.
I'm pretty sure it still does, but it is a new mechanic since 6.83, so... One to test out there. Anyways, we do see just a crazy swing in favor of 4 anchors all across the board. And X Game, they have to be kind of in desperation mode right now. Like, they have some really good split push. Now that the Drow is 16, she can jump in, blink onto a tower popper Manta style, and they can take out half the tower's HP, but just the illusions themselves. But they are just so squishy. I mean, they've got a bunch of ranged heroes. The Rubik, the TA, the Drow, and the Lion all are very low strength. And if the refraction's not up, they just don't have any survivability. Like, the Drow Ranger's doing okay with her Manta style and treads at 1600 HP. Everybody else is having trouble breaking 1,000.
It's just not an easy game. I think if you're xGame at this point, and it never was. They just got run at, and some really smart, solid plays from 4AC. They are going to find Boofy. He is dead. Earth Spike comes out. The right click from Starladder is more than enough damage to get the kill. I mean, but at what cost? You lost the tier 2 tower top. Matama Man is already heading towards the tier 3 tower. He has a full Manta and almost a full Diffusal Blade on his person for Matama Man.
It's insane.
Not even an issue for your Naga Siren here. Like, he is just so farmed at this point that his net worth is now 17,000, which is 4,000 higher than that of Alex, and that's kind of an issue.
Equal's going for a play here. He can go for the blink right on the target. He sees him with the Observer Ward, but he's already backing off. This isn't even vision from the Radiant side. They did not see the Drow Ranger, but now walking to the ward, the telekinesis, and the kill.
Nice kill. They get a spell seal. What is it? Conk shot? No, Arcane Bolt. Not bad. Could be better. Could be worse. But he'll take it regardless. Mantis in the jungle currently. Trixie is going to spot him out in just a moment, but they do have vision coming out with these traps, and so him as well as Velix will back away. In fact, Velix just decides to Ghost Walk just to make sure he gets out. So
yeah.
Haste.
So one thing I do have to talk about here is the fact that Tomasz has this casual point booster. Whether it's casual or he actually wants the Aghanim Scepter, it doesn't matter. What he really needs is a BKB. He needs to get this because there's so much mana burn coming in from the Necronomicon. There's the silence that keeps on coming in from the Skywrath. There's the Songless Siren that he needs to counteract if he's going to be able to interrupt any of your TPs with his split. Like, he needs a BKB, period. And it's going to be a very long time, even if he goes for it now. But if he tries to go for an Aghanim Scepter, he just doesn't get it this game.
Yeah, I think the game ends before he picks that item up. You're absolutely right. They have one tier 2 tower left to take. That's bottom. They could actually try to take top racks at some point in time. They kind of got lucky in the last engagement where they just took down hero after hero after hero. I'd say lucky, but they were also good in that situation. So for now, xGame go back to Roshan. They want the Aegis advantage, and they're going to get it, which does leave room top for them to push into, although not quickly.
So with this Rosh, they're still in the game. Because they have the ability to fight, because they have the ability to kill illusions so easily, it's not as easy for Matama Man to perpetuate this war of attrition. Oh, nice split between the two. They blink on top of them, they stack it. Otherwise, that would have been just a hell of an MLG swag strike, pulling off a kill like that. But nevertheless, they keep on soldiering on, and it's going to be maybe initiation from Naga pretty soon. She's big. She is so big. The mirror image, the Manta, the Diffusal, the Radiance. I mean, she's solo pushing right now, but she has the team behind her.
She gets a heart of Trask. I don't know if she's killable at this point. Maybe. Mantis is going to get ensnared up.
That's not good.
And Mantis is dead. That is an Aegis gone. Tomasz is going to split. Earthspike is only going to hand him Velix. The boulder toss as well coming through. Gus silence onto 2. Matama Man cannot song. He is cycling up in the air. When he comes back down, he will be able to. Blink Stomp, Stallcat, goodbye, buddy. Neo, you're going to get right click down as well. Trixie, now they're going to reset the fight with the Song of the Siren. Meatball does miss on equal as, of course, the song was coming out. They might back away. TP coming out from Trixie. He'll make it out alive. The illusions are going to go back in. Mantis had to buy back, by the way.
Oh, he had the Aegis.
Oh, that's right. Excuse me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but still, I mean, that's a heavy cost. Like, I was saying they were in this game because they got the Rosh, and they immediately lose the thing that the Rosh gave them. Tomasz taking some big hits here, and he will be going down. No way to get out. His mana completely exhausted, and they just march right back up to the top.
And tier 3 tower is going to take a beating. Whether or not it falls is remain to be seen. Equal picks up the BKB himself, and, well.
Yeah, that's fine. They just walk away with that very happily.
Any single fight that goes to 4AC from this point onward is probably game over for xGame. It's just that simple.
Yeah, I mean, they made this bed, so they have to sleep in it. They went for the late game with the Midas. They didn't snowball this game and prevent the Radiance, so they knew what they were up against. They still have to have some kind of game plan here, right? Neo, Reeves going down quickly.
On the other side of things, Equal pops the BKB, still taking so much right-click damage, but Matama Man forces the Mantis style out. And Mantis getting brought down. The cold snap coming in. He is stun locked in place, and he's dead. He is dead for 70 seconds. No buyback available. Tomasz is going to blink into the base. They are going to go for the tier 3 tower top. Matama Man immediately makes his way over there. A beeline, if you will. The tier 3 tower is going to fall, and this is going to be your second set of racks going the way of 4AC. They will not be able to take mega creeps because of the tier 2 tower down bottom. But it is their game to lose now for 4AC. They've taken this, and it's only a matter of time before the GG comes out, I think, from xGame.
Yeah, I mean, they had a lot of potential with this draft if the Brewmaster didn't have such a terrible offlane, but he's just not a hero that makes it easily in that laning phase anymore, and going up against the Skywrath, he just had a really, really terrible time. So they put a lot on Tomash's shoulders as a stand-in, and obviously, like, I don't even think most pros could do well in that situation, that laning configuration, so it's to be expected that he didn't really perform as they needed him to this game, and yeah, I kind of feel like they. Oh my God. I mean, they drafted as if they knew what they were playing against. They drafted well with the Lion, with the Templar Assassin, being able to do a little bit more with against the illusions. But end of the day, they just didn't tempo the game the way they needed to against the Naga Siren. They let her get the free radiance, and now you look at her inventory and say, "This is what you've wrought, xGame. This is." Essentially them allowing him to acquire these items and for ASC to create the space and to do work across the map in order for him to find all that farm.
Dire's bottom
push into the 2-2 tower
attack.
now. They're going to finish this off so they can go for the Rax at some point in time. I honestly think they could keep going here, and it looks like they might do so. I mean, their fights have been so good this game for 4AC. I mean, the Manta is picked up now, but the Naga Illusions do so much damage that isn't even going to matter. They're going to jump in Stallcat. They're going to blow up a hero, but it doesn't even matter. That hero is not blown up as an illusion, I believe. Stallcat getting brought down by the illusions will stay alive. Mantis is going to get right-clicked down. No pieback. The Brewling's not doing much here. Equal, well, he's going to get some help, but he still has his BKB popped and snared up, and he is mad fought down by Matuma Man. 4-step forward. Boofy and Trixie chasing after Neo. Blink up in a couple of seconds. Sunstrike. Neo is going to take the damage and the right click, and they're going to fall. Tomash silenced up. Arcane Bolt coming in. No split available. Trixie's going to get hexed up as well. Mystic Flare onto Stallcat. He'll stay alive for a bit longer, but they are diving the well, and this means that this is game. Tomash double edge. 4 dead. Own is just called by the announcer. Bottom racks has been taken. Mega creeps are coming soon, and Matuma Man and the rest of his squad, 4AC, have absolutely wrecked xGame here in this first game of the day.
Lion hits Necronomicon Archer with Finger of Death for 435 damage.
Oh, I was wondering what he hit. I was like, is that a Manta illusion? What happened there?
just no. Doesn't work out. A lot of problems this draft. I think the 2 Midases is probably the forefront of my mind. The offlane Brewmaster is probably number 2 on my list. But yeah, generally speaking, they just didn't approach the game with the right tempo. They expected miracles to be worked from the stand-in that just couldn't happen with this new Brewmaster. And there we go. Stallcat wants the 1v1 against Nemphy. We'll see how it works out, but it looks like the illusions are contributing in their own special way, and he goes down.
Matuma Man gets another kill on Stallcat to end the game, and only natural that Matuma Man gets godlike at the end of a 25-30 minute game or something along those lines. It's just, it seems so easy for 4AC. You talked about the Brewmaster in the offlane. I completely 100% agree. I don't know what they were thinking throwing that hero there, but it didn't work out nonetheless. Tomash, of course, had a rough time. So with that being said, we are going to take a break. We have another game coming up, and I believe it is going to be Goomba versus 4 Anchors. So another 4AC game like you talked about. It's a doubleheader for them, and then afterwards we'll finish the day off with NIP versus Empire. But for now, 2 games left on the docket. Next game will start at 17:30 CET, which is 11:30 Eastern, 11:30 a.m. Eastern time. So we have about 20 or so minutes before the game starts. So make sure you guys stick around. We'll be back with our second game of the day in just a second. Before we do go again, I'm Maut, with me is Blaze. Go ahead and check us out on Twitter at BlazeCasting, at MautDota as well. Big shout out to the BTS guys for having us on again for Starladder. We'll be back in about 20 minutes or so. Stick around, everybody.
Esports